Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us.
Hey Pieper Nation, I'm Dr. Dane to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld. If your family needs orthodontic care with
Greetings from Seguin. Fantastic district matchup tonight between the Seguin Matadors and a team that a lot of folks think could go all the way to state. The Pieper Warriors off to a fantastic 5-0 start. Both teams 2-0 in that all-important divisional play. 5A, District 13 in the Class 1 classification of 5A. Alongside Carl Schoening, the man to call this game tonight. And Carl, it's a fantastic matchup that pits two 2-0 teams against each other when it comes to district play. Pieper fantastic, Seguin really playing well as of late.
Exactly, yeah. Pieper obviously is somebody who's really opened some eyes with a 5-0 start. And on the other side, Seguin coming off of a big win, 73-66 against Bernie Champion last week. And both of these teams, as Pieper coming off the win against Smithson Valley, picked up big wins in that District 13 5A and are 2 of 3 undefeated teams in district play joining the Unicorns in New Braunfels. But obviously something's got to give tonight, and it's going to be a fun one, and I hope they can keep it under the century mark, but if it gets to the century, well, all the more fun.
Carl mentioning that 73-66 shades of arena football game between Champion and Seguin. Keep your eye on Matadors quarterback Corey Daly. He's number 4. He's a junior. He's the son of Seguin's head coach, Craig Daly. An interesting story there. Not only the father-son combo as quarterback and head coach, but Craig himself a Seguin alum, and then an assistant coach here for the Matadors in the early 2000s before going away, finding his footing in the coaching ranks, and then making his way back, and now leading the Matadors from the head coaching perspective. Edward Adamarino kick us off, and here we go, underway, end over end kick, taken right before it goes out of bounds, and one of the few mistakes you'll see from Pieper, especially on the special teams end. But anyway, you slice it, Carl. Not great field position for the Warriors to start here on the opening drive.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Isaiah Champagne to sort of read, because he was trying to play it off of a bounce, and you have a tough situation where if that bounce takes a favorable roll for the Matadors, then you're really in trouble if you let it go. So he tried to play it, and a tough situation that puts his offense in an even tougher spot starting at the 6.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, because you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't, right? If it's a football, so you don't know which way it's going to bounce. If you assume it's going to bounce out of bounds, guess what? It's not, and that's a live football. Caden Keith, the quarterback for the Warriors, he's very good. We'll go through his numbers here in just a moment. Looking left, now going that way. He's got some room across the 15, near the 20, pulls up, run out of bounds, and it looks to be a first down gain on 1st and 10 for Caden Keith.
Not sure if that was a designed quarterback run from the start, but he went through one progression, decided that left side of the field was wide open, tuck it and run, and pick up a new set of downs and not be in the shadow of your own goalpost.
He'll do that every once in a while. 104 rushing yards on the season, scored twice through the grounds. Shotgun formation, he puts Champagne in motion, so 3 receivers to this top side. Fakes to give. In the slot. Pass complete to Andrew Grindstaff, a young man who comes in at the top of the stat sheet. Not the very top, but among the leaders. Good year last year, and this year 16 catches, 266 yards, along a 47. And Carl, this Pieper offense usually hurrying up. They waste no time between snaps.
Oh, they have tempo.
So 3 receivers to the bottom side now. Keith looking that way, pumps, now lets it go. Incomplete. Looks like maybe he was going for Grindstaff, and Grindstaff maybe pulled the route short a little bit, maybe trying to read the coverage.
Yeah, Ethan Palmer was also in the area, but that ball was well short of any Warrior, and honestly, through 3 plays, that's the worst so far, and you take that if you're a Pieper, obviously with that start at the 6th with this drive.
Keith, a completion percentage of right around 71, 86 of 122 on the season. Lets it go. Another completion here. This one out to his tight end, Ethan Palmer. I call him a tight end. They list Palmer as a receiver, but Pieper really moves him around. A lot of times you'll see him kind of line up where kind of the H-backs and tight ends usually line up.
Yeah, Swiss Army knife of sorts, Palmer, and I think he might have been the target last time. He gets the catch this time, but it's still an obvious passing down on 3rd down.
7 yards to go for Keith in this high-powered Pieper offense. Nothing there, so he's rolling left. Now he takes off. To the 40, it's going to be close depending on the spot.
I don't think he got it. It looked like early indications, but this is sort of that no man's land where if you punt it, yeah, that's all right. You pin him a little deep, but you go for this, and they will move the chains because it was that close.
It's 4th and inches. It's not even 4th and 1. Don't call it 4th and 1 because you're not doing it justice.
And it took them a long time to finally just give them the first down.
It is a first down. It goes from 4th down to 1st down. So a new set of downs again. Ethan Palmer with the reception, this time on the near sideline, and so Ethan a couple of yards on 1st and 10.
Yeah, nice little gift there. As you and I both saw, the initial ruling looked like it was half a yard short, but much more low pressure, so obviously going to the ground situation, or going to the air situation for the Warriors.
Caden Keith that came in with 1,423 yards through the air, 13 touchdowns against only 3 picks. Brady Hopper's first carry. Running over folks as he usually does. Brady lowering that shoulder. And the junior running back, who's rushed for 217 yards this season on 43 carries, gets a couple there.
I like that counter play. He goes in motion, gets the handoff, and then goes the direction that he came and picks up solid yards.
4 yards officially, so 3rd and 3, a second consecutive 3rd down attempt. This Seguin defense doing a nice job of limiting what Pieper's doing on its first couple of plays of each drive. That being said, Keith in the open, another first down, out to the outside. He's got a foot race, crossed the 20. Caden Keith has our first touchdown of the night. 53 yards, Carl. Don't take him long.
Hey, a big part of that play was Keith faked the toss to Hopper in motion, and that caught the linebackers off guard. So once he got through the trenches, there was a lot of navigating that he got all the way to the sideline and bust open that run. Shows that he can do with his feet at the first play and the last play of this drive.
And a perfect example in real time of why this Warriors offense is such a nightmare for opposing defenses. As Daniel Miranda lines up for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, good. Penalty marker. Penalty marker. Now let's see what this is for. As they sort that out, I'm going to finish my thought, Carl, on why it's such a nightmare for opposing defenses. You got to worry about John Hamilton. He's a running back whose name we haven't mentioned yet. He's rushed for nearly 300 yards. Also a big part of the passing game. Call is a chop block on Pieper. So now a decision is, does Coach Nick Rogers maybe go for 2 on this? Because of where they're going to be, or do you settle for essentially what's going to be a field goal attempt for just 1 point?
It seems like the Matadors are going to make Pieper redo the field goal attempt, and it moves all the way back because of the personal foul to the 17, which, quick math in my head, which isn't always good, will make this somewhere around a 34-yard field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all for 1 point.
Looks like they'll actually line this up to be about a 36-yard field goal.
Yeah, the holder's at the 26. Again, it's Miranda. And so we do it again, this time for further out. Snap, hold, kick. Still good. Let's step aside early. Already, Pieper on top 7-0. We're back from Seguin in just a moment. Back at Matadors Stadium, Pieper took him just 2 minutes, 7 seconds to get on the board on a 53-yard touchdown run by their quarterback, Caden Keith. And a kickoff onside. They picked it up. Did it go to 10? Officials say it did. They've got it at the Seguin 48-yard line. And it's Pieper football.
The officials are going to get together to talk about the legality of this because that is quite the misdirect there by Logan Lopez, the kicker. He really looked like he was sending that deep, and I think everybody on the Matador side of things started to turn their head before they realized the ball was not in their direction of their eyes. So he comes up with the ball as soon as it crosses about 10 yards. What a play, and they might get back on the scoreboard yet again with better field position.
Wow. As if Pieper needed any more help. They get the ball right back, and they're already in Seguin territory at the 48. Keith looking deep, goes over the middle. Grindstaff complete, cross the 25. Big play after big play. A potentially touchdown-saving tackle for Caleb Aguilad as Pieper hurries to the ball. To the line of scrimmage, I should say, to snap the ball. They're in formation. Trips to the left. Lone receiver to the right. Brady Hopper, the lone back, in the backfield. Keith looking left. Plenty of time. Corner. Grindstaff, the intended receiver, through his hands.
And it gives a chance for everybody to take just a breath there as obviously that was such a fast tempo setup because not only did they get the onside kick, that Pieper offense was right back on the field in seemingly about 20 seconds to snap the ball. So this is the longest time between snaps that we've had this drive and since the kickoff.
Twins now to each side. Keith, the handoff, Hopper up the middle, a lane right to the end zone, and a second touchdown for Pieper in a matter of minutes. 9:17 still to go in the opening quarter, and the Warriors up 13-0 with the point after to come.
Oh, Colton Green's the first one to congratulate Hopper because he opened up a big hole on the right side of that offensive line, and it seemed to be an open runway right into the end zone.
Brady Hopper, 5th touchdown of the season. Rushing-wise, extra point good. And so when we return, Seguin hoping that they get their hands on the ball first. 14-0 from Matador Stadium.
Hey Pieper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Warriors Network, Pieper putting on a show for the visitors here, the visiting folks who made the trip and sitting on the visiting side. Another opportunity here on the kickoff. Seguin is able to recover, and the Matadors will finally go on offense for the first time at their own 30.
Got to give credit to Elliot Weaver, the upman who made that catch, because obviously Pieper went with that onside kick last time that they had the kickoff. This time they just kind of keep it high and short, which usually leads to a big hit, and there was a big hit there on Weaver. He was able to hold on.
And so Corey Daly, who we talked about at the top of the broadcast, young man who's thrown for 1,280 yards, completing 60% of his passes on the season, 17 touchdowns, 7 of them coming in one game. That victory against Champion. Handoff on 1st and 10, not much there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was well read by a lot of yellow hats, but Bennett King seemed to be the one to lay the biggest lick for the tackle for loss.
Nick Henry getting the first touch for the Matadors offensively. He's a young man who's committed to UTEP. Daly himself offers from UTSA, Texas State, UIW, and UT Rio Grande Valley. He's got trips to his left, goes that way, screen, nice spin move across the 35. I said across, maybe to the 35, complete. Ethan Weaver, the receiver.
Yeah, there was a blitz being lined up there by Vince Welsh, and they go right away from the blitz for that screen on the left side. Good execution, but obviously better execution by the Pieper defense.
It's 3rd and 8. Feels like big down as early as it is. It may sound silly, but it feels like a big down for the Matadors. Corey Daly over the middle, complete. First down for Seguin. Henry looking for more. Showing that quick speed, being able to go from 0 to 60 like that. Reason why he's highly sought after and, as mentioned, is headed to UTEP.
Yeah, and it looks like the Miners got a good one. I was a little surprised that he decided to kind of bounce outside, lose a little bit of yardage originally, but he does a good job gaining more yards after that bounce outside.
At the 49, twinge to each side for Corey Daly. Team down 14-0 with just under 8 minutes to go in quarter number 1, incomplete. Elliott Weaver probably looking up before he had the ball secured.
And that's part of the press coverage. That's the pre-snap look there that the Pieper defense lays out. You know that you're going to have a defender pretty much hit you as soon as you get that ball, and you're thinking maybe get a few more yards after catch since it's a short catch, and he doesn't even complete the catch.
So 2nd and 10 following the incompletion. Daylor shotgun as he usually is. Little pitch out to the left side. First carry of the ball game for Ian Moreno. Ian himself having a very solid year. Brother Ocean, a standout defender on this Seguin team. But as for Ian, 714 rushing yards coming in on 102 carries.
Grant Olin with a great tackle to shed a blocker and keep that to a minimal gain and set up yet another big 3rd down of this drive.
Officially 3rd and 10. Daly rolling left. Goes that way, complete. And not quite to the first down marker. Weaver this time able to haul it in.
Olin and Michael Bus do a good job keeping this from being a first down pickup and setting up this 4th and 2. So obviously, considering the score and considering the way the Warriors put up points, the Matadors pretty much have to go for it on 4th down, but seems to be a good decision either way.
Here we go, 4th and 2. They're at the Pieper 43. Daly over the middle, complete. Henry gets to the outside, first down and a whole lot more near the 30. Every time they've needed something, Carl, they've looked to Henry and they've looked at him in that general kind of hash mark vicinity of the field.
I was just about to say, when in doubt, go to Henry, and number 18 delivers yet again another big first down conversion to keep this drive rolling for the Matadors. And, you know, we talk about it, you alluded to it, you can't win a game in the first half, but you can lose a game in the first half. So they're staying aggressive, and this is a big drive to keep up with the Warriors.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Nick, 22 receptions coming in, 363 yards. He scored 6 touchdowns. So how busy he is, not an aberration. This is what they do, using him often. Daly over the middle. They were looking for Lost him there for a second, but they were looking over the middle. Couldn't quite get that completion connected. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Carl, I believe they were looking for Ian Moreno.
I believe it, but a big reason that play was rushed was because Will Potts really forced the quarterback hurry and get it out of the hand instead of taking the hit was the real thought there.
2nd and 10 at the 33. This time Moreno does get the carry. Not much there.
Yeah, great ankle tackle made just through the trenches by Caleb Gale, and obviously another big 3rd down. All of these 3rd downs seem to be off schedule, but somehow the Matadors have been able to pick up yards, make it seem convincing to go for it on 4th down, or somehow pick up the 3rd down on this drive.
Caleb Gale, a young man who head coach Nick Rogers says is probably the Warriors' most active linebacker.
Oh, I believe it.
As Carl mentioned, 3rd and 10, screen. Henry making some moves, but even he can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. And so a 4th and long, but here's the thing, Carl, they're at the Pieper 35, so in high school football, that proverbial no man's land.
Yeah, this is way too far for a field goal attempt, and it's obviously not really beneficial to try and punt it in this situation unless you just have a punter that you can really believe can angle it out of bounds near the 5. So, and then it goes back to the first drive of the game. The Warriors scored from the 6-yard line being the original line of scrimmage. So obviously you got to play this game of keep up this early in the first quarter.
On 4th and 13, Corey Daly's got trips to our side. Lone receiver up top. He rolls that way. Spins around now, looking to settle. In trouble. Gets a block. Now it's a matter of schoolyard football. Who's going to get open, fellas? Corey across the middle. Almost converted on 4th and 13 after all of that. He's looking for Ian Moreno.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a lot of energy to be used there, and it almost paid off. But Moreno just hit him in a bad spot, his chest, and he was probably tired himself just trying to get free of the defenders, because as much as you saw the movement happening in the backfield, there was just as much movement happening among the receivers, and that just means solid defense all the way through from the pass rush to the defensive backs on the Warrior side.
So Pieper right back on offense. 4:41 remaining in the opening period. A handoff. John Hamilton's first carry of the ball game. It's good for about 8-9 yards depending on the spot. I'm going to say 9 before they officially change the scoreboard. See if I'm right. Yep, 2nd and 1. Snap. Again Hamilton. First down. And it looks like he got across midfield.
And I like the idea, back-to-back runs, you get positive yards, keep that clock moving, because I imagine Pieper will score a few more touchdowns this evening, but they don't want to, air it out for incompletions when the run game's working.
Keith looking over the middle, tucks it, rolls, lets it go, incomplete.
As I say that, they go to the air, but obviously on 1st and 10, plenty of options to set up that air game so you can keep that ground game pushing and keep it respectable and not become predictable. But now you stop the clock, under 4 minutes to play, chance to catch your breath, and if I'm not mistaken, Pieper does really good on plays where they get to catch their breath.
He was looking for Evan Drake, senior receiver, on that previous play. 2nd and 10. Keith over the middle. Drake again. Right on cue. Across the 45 to the 43 of Seguin. And so 3rd down, but 3rd and very manageable. They've only got 3 yards to go.
Keith seems to be determined to get it to his receivers and make sure everybody stays involved. Drake missed him on one time, but he makes sure he goes right back to him.
As special as their wideout Isaiah Champagne is, that's the name of the game, Carl. You hit it right on. They spread it around. Keith likes to look for different targets. Fakes the handoff to Hamilton across. Again, there's Andrew Grindstaff, another one of them. 1st down, Pieper.
And that just makes you more dangerous. You're fast, so you know that defense is going to be on their heels all night, but then it makes it really hard when you're unpredictable. Who's going to get the ball? And 5 wide. It looks like this is going to be a pass, but you know that Keith can do it with his legs too.
At the 36, Keith Grindstaff again. They faked the little inside handoff to Hamilton as if he was coming around. Instead, Grindstaff with yet another catch. He's been very busy here in the opening quarter.
And just really creative play calls as it seems like there's almost always an open receiver for the Warriors.
2nd down and 5. It looks like closer to 4, but we'll go with the scoreboard on 2nd and 5. Keith rolling to his right. He's got Drake in the flat, decides to keep. 1st down across the 20, and Caden Keith, who has scored on a 53-yard touchdown run in this ball game, picking up the 1st down there.
Dual threat sort of lulls the defense to sleep right there. It looked like he was going to pass, in which the defense was going to be ready to try and play the pass. And as soon as he saw the defense sort of get tired watching him run out the lateral to the right side, he tucks it and runs.
Ball at the 20. Grindstaff here on the bottom of the screen. Fake to Hopper. Over the middle. Isaiah Champagne, his first catch of the night, is a touchdown. They are something on offense, Carl.
They really are, and it's a big part of why they're 5-0. And right there, just Champagne getting past the entire defense, showing off a little bit of savvy, a little bit of speed. He loses one defender, gets past the safeties, and there was nobody between him and Pieper.
A machine-like offense strikes again. And on for a 3rd extra point is Daniel Miranda. Like the first 2, this one is true. 21-0, 2:01 remaining in the 1st quarter. The Pieper Warriors coming into Seguin and flexing their muscle here in the 1st quarter. We're back after this right here on the Warriors Network.
Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original.
Logan Lopez kicks us off. Logan handles kickoff duties for the Warriors. Kick to the 27. The Warriors special teams there in a hurry. So while Daniel Miranda handles extra points, it is Logan Lopez who handles the kickoffs. And Seguin, this only going to be their 2nd time on offense, and they're facing a 21-0 deficit right in the face. Still in the 1st quarter, Carl, with 1:58 remaining.
Still plenty of time left, and obviously Seguin, they were down 20 at the half against Bernie Champion, so a halftime deficit doesn't scare them, but obviously a 5-0 team should, and the Warriors certainly playing like a 5-0 team right now.
Corey Daly back on offense. The Matadors enjoying some success moving the ball on their first drive. That wasn't the issue. Came across a 4th down and long, nearly converted it. That ended up being the issue, but they found a way to move the ball. The issue is they didn't get it on the opening drive because of an onside kick, complete here across the 30. Lane Seidenberger, the completion.
And Raja Lopez with a nice open field tackle to make sure there's not much yard after catch picked up there. And this defense playing pretty solid. Obviously, we talked about the several 3rd down conversions, but they got that stop on 4th down, and they're also making sure there's not much after the big part of the play.
Gain of 4. 2nd and 6 at the 31. Daly twins to our side. Fakes the handoff. There's Nick Henry. Couple moves, all of them in tight space. Gets to what appears to be the 33, so give him 2 more to bring up 3rd and 4.
And great focus by Chris Vivens, who made the tackle as he missed the body that he was aiming for because such a quick offensive player Henry is, but he was still able to get him at the ankles, and that's where that focus comes in. Even if you miss your intended target, you can still get him at the ankles.
So 3rd and 4 here at the 33. Seguin, and I mentioned this under a previous possession, kind of still holds true. It feels like this is a big down. Daly keeps right out of the snap, doesn't quite get there.
And I think that's why you run, it looks like a 3-3 stack is the primary defensive situation there, and Leighton Springer comes up with the tackle. He might have been the spy, but if anything, he was filling up the middle there at the position, on the linebacker position, and he makes this another 4th down. And we've seen them go to the air on 4th and short, but maybe they just don't want to really test the trenches. We haven't seen too many between the tackle runs here from the Matadors.
Well, on 4th and 1 from the 36, Seguin offense still on the field, and they're going to talk about it because this is the last play of the first quarter. After 1, the Pieper Warriors 21, Seguin 0. The Matadors looking to get something going. A big 4th down awaits. We're back after this with second quarter action right here on the Warriors Network.
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Second quarter, and a big 4th down to start already. Seguin, 4th and 1, they're down 21-0, and that's honestly, Carl, that's probably the main reason why they're going to go here, or at least attempt to maybe draw Pieper off sides. There's the snap. Daly plunges forward. That's a 1st down. At their own 36, the gamble pays off.
The Eagles have really made that popular at the NFL level. They call it the brotherly shove, and it seems to be making its way around end, and not too much of a push really needed there, as Daly seemed to do it all by himself, but he did have a couple extra players behind him just to make sure he picked up that 1 yard needed.
Ball at the 41 as Seguin tries to get something going. Interestingly enough, you see the 21 points for Pieper. We're already in the second quarter, but this is only Seguin's second offensive possession. So it's not like they've had multiple opportunities and haven't capitalized. Daly, sideline, complete. Weaver turns it up. Doesn't quite reach the 45. Even with forward progress, I think they're going to give him the 44.
Another solid job by Will Potts to force a hurry up there on the quarterback, Daly, because he had no opportunity to even look to that right side. Had to create something on the left side. Got a little something with Weaver, but obviously the Warrior defense has really been impressive so far.
Kind of underrated and overlooked, Carl, because of how spectacular their offense is, but make no mistake, talent on that defensive side of the ball too, and a big reason why Pieper is so highly regarded and state ranked across all of Texas. Daly, plenty of time. Look at that arm. Lets it go. Deep. Nick Henry almost came up with it. Corey Daly showing you on one throw why he's got the offers from the aforementioned schools and why a school like Texas A&M invited him for a college visit just last weekend.
That was thrown into triple coverage, and Daly just aired that out where he knew only his speedster of a wide receiver would be the only one who could catch up to it. And, yeah, Nick Henry, I'm going to have to be telling some people about him. He has speed for days. He's going to blow out the top on a lot of safeties in this 13-5A district.
Well, one of the schools that's already offered Corey, UIW, looking to keep him home, as is UTSA. 2 of the 4 that have made offers. Again, UTRGV, the other. Daly extending the play, sideline Weaver too far out of bounds.
Fans want a flag for a push, maybe a pass interference, if nothing else. They're not going to get it. And Nino Spina forces the hurry up there in the backfield. That'll bring out this punting unit. And once again, just shutting off that entire wide side of the field, forcing that quarterback to make the move on the run. Daly looked like a solid enough play, but it ended up airing out of bounds, uncatchable. That's why you don't see the pass interference call.
Yeah, speaking of Daly, finishing that thought, again, as mentioned before, Texas State, the fourth of those schools that have already offered the junior quarterback from right here at Seguin. The punt, deep back is Brady Hopper. It's not going to get to him. Ball rolls inside the 20, and the Warriors will start their fourth offensive possession at their own 18, maybe 17-yard line, depending on where that one's spotted. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot.
It's been a fun one, especially if you're a Warriors fan. If you're tuning in for Seguin, maybe it's a good thing you're joining us at this point, but it certainly seems like there's nothing that's really stopping Pieper at the moment on either side of the ball.
And the thing is, from the Seguin standpoint, Pieper does this to just about everybody they play. And so just an absolute buzzsaw here through the first half of the season. Caden Keith looking left, goes that way, pass complete. Again, it's his big receiver, Evan Drake. Drake to the 24.
Drake seems to be about as big as any defensive player on the Matadors, so he's going to be a tough target for them to keep an eye on all night.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think Pieper lists anybody as a tight end. So their biggest pass catchers are listed as wide receiver. Brady Hopper across the 30. Brady, a young man who every time he touches the ball, before you know it, he's 4 or 5 yards up the field. Credit the Pieper offensive line for that, but also Brady Hopper doing a nice job every single time he touches the rock. Again, Pieper hurrying, snap to Keith, rolling to his right. Got Drake in the flat. He goes deep instead, wide open down the field, and we've got a 27-0 Pieper lead. Ethan Palmer on the receiving end this time.
Ethan Palmer shows that the Warriors have a number 18 of their own to match Nick Henry on the other side of the offense for the Matadors. Just left wide open. Nobody seemed to mark him, and you got to give a lot of credit to Keith for the great field vision to see his teammate wide open down the field. A little hard to miss those yellow helmets, but obviously execution being the name of the game, big score there.
64 yards on that connection for Caden Keith to Mr. Palmer. Extra point, once again good. 9:20 remaining in the second quarter. 28-0 Pieper. We're back after this from Matador Stadium. The Pieper Warriors kicking off yet again. 9:20 remaining in the first half. Kick field at the 38. A couple of Matadors running into each other.
Well, the last time that there was kind of an upman who had to take it, I said that it was a good job because he took a hit from one of the Warriors. This time, Oscar Gomez takes a hit from his own teammate, Aiden Avila, and lucky that this one doesn't end up in the Warriors' hands as a self-inflicted turnover.
At the 30 is where the Matadors will get it. And this is, I got to imagine, Carl, you know, the great thing is, and you've heard Greg Popovich allude to this often, is when his team gets down big early, well, at the very least we have forever to play. But if you're Seguin, you're sitting there thinking, my, oh, my, what's hit us? We got to find a way to settle this thing down and get back in this thing, and that's hard to do. Ball's on the turf. Corey Daly able to jump back on it. Yes, it was Corey Daly. I thought that maybe Daly had moved off to the side there on maybe a quick handoff, but he was able to pounce back on that one. And it's just one of those things of you tell yourself, we got to settle down. That's hard to do when the team on the other end just keeps coming at you ferociously.
Yeah, this feels like a must-score drive, and obviously a loss of 5 on a bobbled handoff is not how you want to start a must-score drive, and Warriors are going to be relentless when they get the ball back as well.
2nd and 15. They're at the 25 now. Twins to each side. Daly looking right first. Goes through the progression. Now comes to Weaver on the left side. And immediately met by Raja Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez with another good tackle there to make sure that after the catch, no real yards were picked up, and 3rd and about 14 here. A lot of options for the defense to make sure that the defenders don't get past the sticks.
Young man they call Raj, junior defensive back, a big part, of this Pieper defense. 3rd and 14, Daly. Trying to buy time, he takes off. Problem is, there was Warriors in the vicinity, so Daly back to maybe the original line of scrimmage.
I like the call. There's a blitz being brought there by Ben Chapman, one of the defensive backs, that totally takes out the right side of the field for that play. Daly notices it. Once again, he's stuck with only the boundary side of the field and didn't really see anything there. And you just got to cut your losses sometimes, and you don't want to make a mistake forcing anything or get hurt trying to take it to the middle of the field for a big open field tackle.
So on to punt, and blocked. And Pieper's going to get it again, this time inside the Seguin 20.
I believe Brody Spencer was the one who knocked that one down, and he was certainly excited about the play that was made there as he was in the area. And when it rains, it pours for the Matadors. And best field position all night in the red zone for the Warriors here to add on to their lead.
Lade Seidenberger, who's also the Matadors' backup quarterback, handles punting duties. And under attack there on that one. 1st and 10 from the 18. Keith looking right. Goes that way. Hamilton in the slot. Out of the backfield perhaps, depending on where he was lined up. Inside the 10. 1st and goal for Pieper.
Touchdown saving tackle there by Reggie Richardson. But obviously Pieper now with a new set of downs and goal to go.
At the 7. Keith, as he always is in the shotgun. Handoff, Hamilton tries to cut it upside. That Seguin defense there, nice job of moving with him, making sure that turned into a score.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Pieper just keep it on the ground, a little conservative to keep their energy up, but also burn some clock here in the 2nd quarter and try and keep that goose egg for the defense that's been playing so well into the locker rooms.
At the 5 for 2nd and goal, Keith. Again, Hamilton finds his way into the end zone. John Hamilton has his first touchdown of the ball game.
And Hamilton's been positive every time he touches the ball, so that trend continues. He decides to follow the left side of his line into the end zone, and, well, the Warriors can do no wrong, it seems, tonight.
Hamilton, the leading rusher, both in carries and in yards. 50 totes coming into the ball game, 292 yards to start the night. This is 8th touchdown of the season. Extra point, number 5 of the ball game is good for Daniel Miranda. 6:49 remaining in the first half. 35 Pieper, Matadors looking for their first score. We're back after this on the Warriors Network. Back at Matador Stadium, Another kickoff, Carl. Same song and dance for the Warriors. 35-0 here. And keep in mind, they're taking it to a good Seguin program. Matadors are 3-2, including getting district playoff to a 2-0 start. The Warriors, though, having that kind of a season here in 2024 off the heels of a fantastic 2023 season in which they made a deep run in the playoffs after winning only 2 games the year before. In fact, their head coach, Nick Rogers, saying, you know, what's been interesting about this year is this is really the first year, and it's a young program. They've only been around for a couple of years. He said this is the first year where we've really had any expectations because nobody expected us to do anything the year we won 2 games. And he said, frankly, nobody expected us to do anything last year when we went on that deep run in the playoffs. This year, though, different. This year, people expecting of these Pieper Warriors, and they're delivering.
Exactly. Sometimes it's hard to meet expectations, but the second time I've gotten to see Pieper, and they are living up to the hype. They are legitimate state contenders.
At the 23 is where Corey Daly and the Matadors O start this drive. Ian Moreno, nice job getting to right around the 19. Pickup of, let's call it, the 24, excuse me. The 24 is where he gets, right around us. Well, they're going to call it the 25. So, second down and 8 following that pickup of 2. Daly, shotgun formation still. Moreno to his right. Movement. There's the flags and the whistles.
Yeah, false start right there as I believe that's Carter Norseworthy, who had a good hit last time to get the tackle between the pipes, and this time he gets that kind of fake out blitz. I'm pretty sure he was going to go. He was reading the hard count and just forced the right side of the offensive line to move.
So that Seguin offense backed up. Head coach Craig Daly telling us that he and the Moreno family, very good relationship. Ian, a standout tailback, his brother Ocean, a senior, a year older, a defender. Their family's close for many years. The fake to Ian. Corey in trouble. Stays on his feet, still on his feet, lets it go, and pass complete. What a job of Corey Daly of staying on his feet and then finding Aiden Avila for the completion.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be another big play by Carter Norseworthy, and obviously he was able to escape that tackle that would be and still keep his eyes down the field to find Avila, and it makes this much more third and manageable than it was looking like to be third and a mile.
At the 32 to get 1 yard. Nearing 5 minutes to go. Bunch formation. Let's see if they go with that. The shove there, Carl, the Eagles shove. What's it called again? The brotherly shove?
They call it the brotherly shove.
The brotherly
because it's
shove.
the city of brotherly love.
Absolutely, yeah.
Otherwise known as the tush push. And I like brotherly shove a little bit better because it fits the football culture. And it looks like they're a little bit short, though.
Actually, they
okay.
got it. They're a little delayed there with that down marker. There's twice now that it's taken a while for it to go from either third down to first down, or in this case, fourth to first.
They play a complicated game of telephone down there, the officials do.
At the 33 with a new set of downs following the brotherly shove, which I agree is much better than the tush push or push tush or whatever. Anyway you slice it. Corey Daly back to pass. Going deep with plenty of time. Nick Henry down there, intercepted. Warrior going to get the ball back at their own. The Warriors going to get the ball back at their own 26.
Well, Jackson Hopper reads that underthrown ball, and it's so easy to underthrow such a star receiver like Nick Henry, who was already a couple strides past 2 defenders, and he tried to make a play on it. Henry did, but very easy there for the other Hopper, Jackson, to come up with the aired out ball.
And of course, Jackson, the older brother of standout tailback for Pieper, Brady Hopper. Brady a junior, Jackson a senior. Brady to Caden Keith's left. 4:18 remaining. 1st and 10 at the 27 for Pieper. They've got a 5-touchdown lead. Pass complete down the sideline into Seguin territory on one play on a drive that started at their own 27.
Yeah, the safety there, Ocean Moreno, saves the day as the safety. He sees that an unmarked receiver's out there on the right side and makes the tackle that keeps that from being 6.
Cash Lancaster, his first catch of the ball game. Cash, a young man who scored twice in a ball game against Davenport earlier in the year. They go to Cash again. And he's going to bust loose. Across the 15, Cash got 2 touchdowns in that Davenport game. He's got his first tonight.
And that's just a great play design, as it looked like that was going to be a swing pass out to the right side to Brady Hopper. And then that was just a misdirection for the screen being set up on the left side, which really opened up a lot of lanes there for Cash. And once he had a couple defenders one-on-one, he was able to make the miss and evade his way into the end zone.
The Warriors have 6 touchdowns tonight. Each has been scored by a different player. Extra point is good. Talk about being very good and talk about being very balanced. We're back after this from Matador Stadium right here on the Warriors Network.
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Warriors quarterback Caden Keith scored their first touchdown of the ball game. Brady Hopper scored their second. Isaiah Champagne their third. Ethan Palmer their fourth. John Hamilton their fifth. Cash Lancaster their sixth. Kickoff fielded right around the 32, and that's about where the Matadors were starting. Now, Caden Keith, the quarterback's had a hand in several of those touchdowns, but he's also run for one, and so because of that, 6 different players have found the end zone for the Pieper Warriors here in the first half.
And I feel like this is almost a statement kind of game. This is one of the undefeated teams in 13-5A. Seguin coming off of that big 73-point week, and you've held them to 0 points with 3:55 left in the first half. All sides of the ball, all 3 sides of the ball are clicking, because even on special teams, that onside kick for the second kickoff, just masterful work.
Keep on saying it, and for those of you who are watching tonight and aren't particularly, don't follow the Pieper Warriors particularly close, or the district for that matter, or Seguin, this a Matadors club that's won 3 straight games, including the champion victory that Carl just mentioned. Corey Daly has to throw it away. And so it bears repeating that what you're seeing from Pieper tonight is coming against a good football team. 2-0 in district, 3-2 on the season. Again, a 3-game winning streak after they opened the season with a tough loss to a very good Alamo Heights squad, and then fell in their second game to Corpus Christi Miller. But aside from that, 3 wins for Seguin until they ran into this Pieper buzzsaw here tonight. Daly handoff. Ian Moreno. Near the 35. Don't think he got there. Spotted at the 34.
Caleb Gale with a nice swiping tackle to get the ankles. He didn't really get a hold of anything, but he's tripped up Moreno and makes this a much tougher third down.
8 yards is what they need. Daly trips to our side. Movement, whistles.
Yeah, Daly knew that right away. As soon as the snap kind of came at him, he was already defeated and wasn't going to make a play. So when it rains, it pours, as I've used a couple times, but the Matadors just haven't really been able to get anything going in terms of their offense. That one solid drive they had that stalled out on 4th and 13 feels like forever ago.
Yeah, it was their first drive of the ball game. And it felt at that point like maybe because they were able to move the ball, they did have similar success the rest of the way. Daly backpedaling. He's been on his hind legs the majority of this first half, and again he has to throw it away, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, Leighton Springer just giving him all kinds of pressure, and really it turned into a contain, more of a, hey, all you can really do is throw this away while a lot of other yellow hats help me make sure that you don't escape with your legs.
Corey Jr. has been starting on varsity since he was a freshman. Son of head coach Craig Daly, young man who's getting plenty of interest at the next level, including having recently visited Texas A&M. Fielded by Brady Hopper is the punt at the 40, baited across midfield. Now to the other 40, across that one, near the Seguin 30. And again, the Pieper Warriors will get outstanding field position to start on this next drive.
We have a flag on the far side of the field, way away from the play. I'll be curious to see if this is something that happened at the snap that might make us redo the punt.
It's on Seguin, and they're tacking it on to the end of the run. Or are they? Spotting it at the 26.
I saw a signal, it looked like a false start, which would have stopped the play right away. So maybe they intended something else, but yeah, that's a little odd. Either way, it was such a great return there by Brady Hopper. You just accept it, whatever the result of the play is here, because just another great starting field position for this Warriors offense.
Keith again, Grindstaff in motion. Keith lets it go, Grindstaff gets the pitch. Catch on his end near the 20.
It's another solid play to set up a screen there, and you get the feeling that that's just an extension of the run game. You set up the blocks with a little bit of misdirection, and then you know that you're going to have an open receiver with a few defenders in front of him, or a few blockers in front of him.
Following the gain of 5, it's 2nd and 5. Keith looking to his right, goes that way, over the middle, complete across the 10. His big target, even Drake. And Evan gets it to right around the 7-yard line, and that Warrior offense not skipping a beat. Again, continuing the pace, coming right up to the line and ready to snap it again.
Yeah, and that's their MO. You got to be well conditioned to defeat this offense.
Nobody has yet. Keith looking left. Now rolling right. Decides to keep, makes a move to the 5.
Some frustration let out on that hit there from Jared Rogers, as obviously it's been a tough night for this defense, and he sees a good look at Keith, and he gets a good layout hit there, but obviously Keith bounces right back up. Nothing malicious, of course, and Keith will still have a few more plays to get into the end zone.
Warriors on the verge of adding a 7th first half touchdown. 2nd and goal at the 6. Keith looking left. Corner. Grindstaff. Touchdown.
What a great pass, because that one you have to just really have a good relationship with your receiver there. Grindstaff was probably a solid 6 or 7 strides away when that ball got into the air. So you have to trust that he knows his route. Caden Keith trusts his receiver and just airs it only where the receiver's going to go, and he knows he's going to end up. And the chemistry is also on point for that 7th touchdown.
And guess what, Carl? As the extra point by Miranda is good. He's the 7th Warrior to score a touchdown.
That's true. That's right. That's crazy.
Let's step aside. 56 seconds before the intermission. Pieper putting it on Seguin, 49-0 here at Matadors Stadium.
Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original. 'Cause 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 '
Matadors Stadium on a season-high night for the Pieper Warriors, Carl Schoening.
That's right. Davenport was the previous total for points put up by the Warriors offense at 42 points on the season. With that last touchdown, they break that total in the half.
And so with the kickoff, Logan Lopez, this one of his deeper kicks at the 15. It's Nick Henry out there making a move to the outside. Henry's got the sideline. Nice angle there taken by Logan Lopez, the kicker, to force him out. If not, Nick Henry might have Seguin's first touchdown of the night.
Yeah, that was obviously another solid play there by Lopez, who got the onside kick earlier as he kicked it and was able to read it 10 yards and grab it for that onside kick on the kickoff earlier in the game. But right there, just angles out one of the fastest players I've seen at the high school level in Nick Henry. And it's always nice to see a 0 on the scoreboard for that defense. The special teams comes up with a play to set their defense up.
Yeah, that's a great point, Carl. Sometimes when you'll see a game that doesn't end in 0 and someone will say, yeah, but that was a pick 6. Or, yeah, they scored on a punt return. It's like, yeah, I get that, but it's still not 0. It's still not quite the same. It doesn't have the same feeling as just a shutout period. Daly over the middle, complete at the 40. Young man who's listed as a backup quarterback but also plays receiver some, Lade Seidenberger with the catch. The Matadors offense turned to hurry now. They're at the 42 of Pieper as the clock goes under 40 seconds in this first half. Twins to each side for the junior quarterback. Looking left, well behind the line of scrimmage. He usually is. Ian Moreno across the 30 near the 25. 26, and the Matadors will call what I believe is their first timeout. It is.
Correct. First time out taken by either team, and the Matadors had all three to work with the 48 seconds that they had when this drive started. So I also think there's an injury on the field. If I'm seeing that right, it's 8. And I'm probably not seeing that right, but it's obviously an injury that stalls what was a positive play, and the timeout will preserve the 10-second runoff as well with 24 seconds left. This huddle comes at a good time to try and finally find the end zone if you're the Matadors. But also, I'm sure that Warriors defense talking things over as I haven't seen time of possession, but it feels like they've been out there a lot. But every time they've been out there, they've done a really good job of keeping this Seguin offense out of the end zone and the red zone.
It's Ian Moreno who was down. You were close, Carl. 8 looks like 9.
Yeah.
Tough to tell from this vantage point a lot of times. But Ian gingerly making his way off, so certainly our best.
You might want to look bigger picture here, and even if he's able to come back in the second half, might be better to give some other players opportunities and see what they can do in what we say you can't win a game in the first half, but you can certainly lose a game. That's what it feels like right now for Seguin.
Especially when as the Matadors are, you're in the playoff picture after winning your first 2 district games in a very tough district at that. Corey Daly over the middle. Pass complete. Weaver at the 10. Make it Henry. 18, not 10. Nick Henry with the catch. Another timeout for Seguin.
Yeah, smart timeout because it doesn't really seem like the 2-minute drill and tempo is 100% part of the Matadors offense, and they want the good plays, the productive plays here. They still have 1 timeout left after this and 17 seconds to work with. I think it's still beyond. You're thinking, how do you get these 11 yards right now if you're Seguin?
Would be a great way to end the half considering how it's gone so far for Seguin. Obviously there's no 49-point plays, but all you can do is just try to stack good plays on top of each other, and getting a touchdown would certainly go a long way, and if nothing else, the morale for these Matadors heading in to the locker room. On 1st and 10 from the 11, Daly thinking about keeping, now pulls it back. Touchdown, Seguin. A. Navila found a spot. Corey Daly found him.
I'm not 100% sure, and obviously I was watching that through binoculars as I do up here, but I'm not 100% sure he was behind the line of scrimmage the moment before he stepped back to make that throw. So the officials didn't see it. It's no flags, and it's going to forever be a touchdown, but obviously a lot of dancing back there, and a nice job by obviously Daly to get that score and just get that monkey off your back of we didn't score in the first half. Even if there's only 10 seconds left, it feels good to have those 6 points on the board for the Matadors.
I'm wondering if because Daly has made a living doing that here in the first half that the officials have kind of grown accustomed to it. Bad snap, and so the point after can't even get the kick up, and so with 10 seconds to go, Pieper will get it back with a 49-6 lead. So often in this first half, you've seen Daly, even with the shotgun formation. Was there a penalty marker on that play? Because it looks like they're going to play the down again.
I think I heard offsides there. I didn't actually see the signal.
Same here.
Yeah, so I think this will be a redo of the kick. And Seguin will use their final timeout. I bet you they want to go for 2 for what it's worth.
So that is their third and final timeout.
Might as well use it because I could see the Warriors pretty much just going right into a kneel as soon as they get the ball back. If there's not a big explosive play, that'll put them in great field position with 10 seconds left. Seems like this will more or less be the last play of consequence. Obviously, bearing that special teams 70-yard return for a touchdown, which the Warriors, by all indications, are capable of. They've had a big first half in special teams. The block punt that set them up in the red zone, the onside kick, just solid defense by kicking it to the upman and the other kickoffs that didn't have any trickery. So, again, the Warriors played just as good of a half as you can ask. Matadors happy to get this touchdown on the board before the half and gifted here with the chance to try and just punch it in from about a yard and 2/3 away from the end zone for a 2-point conversion. Yeah,
it's officially at the 2, but it's in between the 1 and the 2. Matador scoring their first touchdown of the ball game in the waning seconds of the first half. Now a chance to get 2 more, as in points.
Devin Hall's in the backfield. We'll see if he gets the handoff.
Daly rolling right. Devin Hall's open. Daly still looking. Throwback. Incomplete.
Well, impressive enough attempt there, but Daly's certainly getting his steps in here in the first half with how much he's under pressure and having to move around that pocket and outside of it.
He's looking for Abram Acuna. Young man listed as a defensive back primarily for these Matadors, but in there on the 2-point conversion.
I saw what you saw there. It looked like Hall was following him in stride to sort of be an outlet there as a tight end, but obviously he didn't feel like that was the safest pass to make, and just using his really special skill of being able to extend plays with his legs. And that doesn't necessarily mean picking up the first down. It just means making an opportunity for your receivers to find an opening as those defensive backs get tired as well. And once you learn to play with the improvisation of your quarterback, the receivers can really create some opportunities for big explosive plays. Still a whole nother half of football left, and I'd say the Warriors have done a good job limiting all of those explosive plays from the Matadors.
With 10 seconds remaining in the first half, a little bit of a pooch kick. Taken at the 30, returnable near the 40. And with 5 seconds remaining, the Warriors offense comes back on the field. Up 49-7. 6 make that, 49-6 on the Seguin Matadors.
I don't see much of a need to get greedy here if you're the Warriors. Take the knee, enjoy your momentum into the locker room, but 5 seconds left. Yeah, you could get a solid playoff, but prevent defense full on here for Matadors. So we'll see if that's what they decide to do. This seems like it's going to be a kneel.
Yeah, Isaiah Champagne back at the 25 kind of taking on that role of the just-in-case on precaution guy back here, and that's the way the first half comes to an end. All Pieper here in Seguin. The Warriors a 49-6 lead on this Matadors team that's looking for a fourth straight win. Would take nearly a miracle to make that happen in the second half. Halftime is next right here from Matador Stadium, right here on the Warriors Network.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions when it comes to boys. And this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
The Pieper High School Marching Band and the Spirit Groups performing here at halftime in a game that Pieper leads Seguin 49-7. Let's take a look and listen in live at those Spirit Groups and the Marching Band performing here at Matador Stadium.
Electric and lighting contractor, Star Electric, Martin, orthodontics, and Texas Enterprise. Ladies and gentlemen, please give one more round of applause for our Pieper High School Legacy Dance team. We would also like to recognize our amazing Pieper cheer. Cheerleader of the week is Abby Collier and Abby Duvall. The Pieper cheer team is under the direction of Susie Mansfield with assistance by Cheyenne Barnes. And joining us from San Antonio, Texas, please welcome your 2023 UIL State Marching Contest qualifiers, the Pieper High School Band of Warriors. The Band of Warriors 2024 show is dedicated this year to our incredible Pieper fan base, and is entitled Come Together, featuring the music of the world-famous 1960s rock band from Liverpool, The Beatles. You will hear some familiar tunes such as Eleanor Rigby, Obladi Oblada, In My Life, and Come Together, with some new twists. drum majors Aaron De La Garza, Alani Perez, Ava Taylor, and Lainey Coda. The Pieper Band of Warriors is under the direction of band director Evan Berry and assistant directors Alan Connor, Scott Lowe, and Thomas Schaefer. The color guard is under the direction of John Arroyo. Pieper Ranch Middle School directors are Dane Reeves and Kendall Tucker. Bulverde Middle School directors are Daniel Eicher and Taylor Lovato Cruz. Band section of the week is the Mellophone. The band of Warriors is brought to you by a team of incredible community sponsors. This year we're proud to thank our gold level corporate sponsors, Canyon Springs Family Dental, Pieper Smiles Family Dentistry, Kathleen Blantz from State Farm Insurance, San Antonio Eye Center, and San Martin Orthodontics. We'd also like to thank our platinum level sponsors, 7 to 7 Dental. Finally, a most heartfelt thank you to our top local Warrior sponsor, Lookout Eye Care and Tryon Construction and Engineering. The Pieper Band would like to thank our most supportive administration for their assistance along the way for this school year. Let's go, Warriors!
Good evening, Matador fans! The Seguin Independent School District Department of Fine Arts is proud to present the 2024-2025 Mighty Matador Marching Band and the Star Steppers Dance Team. The Star Steppers are under the direction of Kiara Valenzuela and Andrea Rodriguez. Officers for the Star Steppers are Captain Kylie Moore, First Lieutenant Armani Cardenas, Senior Lieutenant Araceli Salazar, Junior Lieutenant Irina Mosco, Junior Lieutenant Annabella Hughes, Social Officer Kaylee Ramirez, Social Officer Brooklyn Mosher. The Star Stepper of the Week is Leah Polson. And the Director's Choice is Sophia Martinez. And now, for your entertainment, the award-winning Star Steppers and Starline will be performing a dance routine to a hand clap.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions when it comes to boys. And this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building confident smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Who's gonna decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions when it comes to boys. And this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building confident smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions when it comes to boys. And this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Pieper?
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building confident smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions when it comes to boys. And this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera. Named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building confident smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us.
We are thankful for these partnerships and strengthen our Matador
Welcome back.
community with support for our many
Welcome back. Second half action here at Matadors Stadium. Absolute show put on by the Pieper Warriors in the first 24 minutes. Carl Schoening alongside. In a game, Carl, that saw Pieper score the 7 touchdowns courtesy of 7 different players. We knew and we know that offense is high-powered, but boy, just putting it on full display here at Matador Stadium.
I don't think they could have played a much better half there, as obviously you see the 6 points. The Matadors kind of got that with a little bit of luck and obviously the skill at the end, but otherwise the Warriors played a perfect first half, and I do think that this is going to be an interesting second half. We might have a little bit of a running clock if the Matadors can't find some explosion here in the third quarter.
Seguin scoring very late with 10 seconds to go before the intermission in a game that was 49-0. Now Pieper got the ball first, took full advantage, scored right away, and so they're kicking off to start half number 2. End over end, fair catch signaled and made at the 19, and that's where Corey Daly and this Seguin offense will start. Corey, as we talked about, plenty in the first half of the broadcast, a young man who, though he's just a junior, has been starting as a freshman and is highly sought after in terms of local colleges, UTSA, UIW, Texas State among the schools that have already offered, RGV also in the mix as a school that's offered, and A&M, Texas, the Aggies inviting him up to College Station for a recent visit. So eyes on him, but this Pieper defense doing a fantastic job in the first half of more than keeping him in check.
Yeah, he's had a couple drop balls from his receivers, too, that have kind of kept his stats from being a little bit more elevated than they might appear tonight.
Nearly 1,300 yards coming into the ball game, so he's over that for the season when you include the first 24 minutes. He rose to his right, looking. Kind of the check down there. He hits Lane Sedenberger, one of his receivers, who's also listed as the backup quarterback. Lane with a couple of catches in the first half.
Yeah, Kyler Shepard there to really take away a lot of the options. It seems like there's maybe that left side of the field or the right side of the field, depending on where the pressure comes from. It flushes out Daly, and he has half of the field eliminated.
Second down and 10 as they got back to the original line of scrimmage. Appears the ball might be on the turf. No such signal from the official, or at least nothing that would suggest that there's a turnover on the play, a change of possession.
Yeah, Joseph Ramirez, the offensive lineman for Seguin, ended up being at the bottom of the pile, so he with the football. So I think he saved the turnover threat, but still 3rd and long. Obviously not how the Matadors want to start this drive.
Third and 7. Daly. All kinds of time. That was usually the case in the first half. Complete across the 40, first down for the Seguin Matadors. Ian Moreno, we saw him limp off at the end of the first half, and so the running back Devin Hall, 5'10", senior who goes 180 on the receiving end of that catch.
Moreno did come in this drive for at least a play, but yeah, Hall obviously getting those opportunities. We talked about that risk reward. Do you want your starting running back playing in a 49-6 game? No, get Hall some experience. You'll see him line up in the slot right here, but or as he dances back into the backfield, but obviously a good opportunity for that young man.
Ball's at the 42. New set of downs. Daly looking for Hall, overthrows.
Just unblocked there. Caleb Gale forces that tough throw there by Daly, and they're going to have to keep a body on any of those extra men brought in, as obviously you're keeping an eye on the 3 down linemen that the Warriors have there for your pass protection, but plenty of blitz packages have been lined up out of this 3-3 stack offense or defense for the Warriors that have kept Daly on his heels.
Raj Lopez in the vicinity there defensively. 2nd and 10 at the 42. There's Moreno, mentioned it moments ago, Carl being back in there. His first touch since leaving the ball game there in the first half. Nice little pickup. 3rd and short coming for the Matadors.
Yeah, I imagine him limping off the field at the end of the first half was nothing that a good old-fashioned 40-minute halftime couldn't fix. And the pep in the bands obviously gives a little bit of energy to these players as they're starting to march along with the rhythm of the beats.
3rd and 4. Own 48. Twins to each side. Matadors looking to score a 2nd straight touchdown when you go back to the end of the first half. Moreno, right side, not a whole lot there. That Pieper defense holding a team meeting at the point of contact with Moreno. Ball at the 49 of Pieper. The down marker says 4th down.
And I imagine it's time for another brotherly shove. It seems to be the formation they go to in these scenarios.
The more brotherly shove you can give me, the better. Daly. I think the shove's enough for a first down.
Just barely, though.
Not by much, though, right?
Yeah, I think the football, it did its intended purpose. Just get to the basically where the center takes a step. And a new set of downs, and obviously you're in Warriors territory, too. If there's ever a must-score drive on the first series of the second half, it's this one.
They needed a yard, let's call it, and they got a yard and a half potentially. Just enough. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Pieper. Fake to Moreno. Daly looking left, looking right deep. Complete penalty marker. Nick Henry down there makes the catch at right around the 10.
And I think this will go down as a defensive pass interference on Raj Lopez. So this will probably be declined.
So as they await the official signal, no indication. Nobody's remaining back where the ball was. Everybody making their way up. So I think they're under the assumption that you are as well, Carl. that this is going to be on the Warriors and declined.
Well, when in doubt, keep going to Nick Henry, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a look here.
So they're at exactly the 10 on 1st and goal. Moreno standing right next to Daly. This time he does get it. Burst up the middle. Breaks what would be an ankle tackle. Let's give him 2. 2nd and goal from the 8.
Solid play by Jackson Hopper there to just clog up that run and get the tackle. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a goal line stand here, and obviously looking for 6 of the Matadors. They can't come away with a field goal in this scenario.
2 receivers to the near side. Ball's on the turf. Daly picks it up. In trouble, throws it away.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Daly just in trouble right away as soon as he had to try and find that football, and not really giving him any time at all. Grant Oling forces that pass away, and his eyes got real big because he thought he was going to get a big tackle for a loss on the quarterback. But 3rd down, and I again think that you have 2 plays to get into the end zone. Field goal doesn't do you much good here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit more conservative play here on 3rd down to set up 4th down.
8 yards to get into the end zone. Daly with 4 receivers, 3 of them to his left. Looking right. Now coming that way. Moreno hit hard. Big hit by Bennett King. I think that a big stop for the defensive back. 4th and goal, Carl, at the 4.
Yeah, like you said, Bennett King saves the touchdown right there, and that was somewhat of a conservative play, looking for the end zone, but obviously 4th down and got to pick this up.
Daly waiting patiently, looking for the play to develop. Touchdown, Seguin. Lane Seidenberger's made a couple of catches so far tonight. That one is biggest. 2nd touchdown of the night for Seguin. 2nd straight score when you go back to late in the 1st half, and it's 49-12 with what you think might be a 2-point conversion to come.
Seems like that's the body language of the offense staying out on the field. The Matadors are going to go for the biggest play possible every single time. That's why you see them go for it on 4th and 4, and I imagine there's going to be some attempts in the special teams as well when they get the kickoff, just to try and maybe put a little bit of pressure on the Warriors.
Daly standing in shotgun formation at right around his 8. Again rolling to his left. Picked in the end zone. Grant Oling, credit him with the stop. The Warriors will get it for the first time in the 2nd half. 6:49 remaining on the clock. Up 49-12. We're back after this from right here at Matador Stadium.
Hey Piper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building confident smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Matador Stadium, the Seguin Matadors kicking off the Pieper after a 2nd touchdown of the ball game. First possession, capitalizing here. Whistles as Pieper was returning. They're going to get their first shot with the ball. Scored 7 times in their first 24 minutes. Coach Craig Daly chatting with one of the judges here on the side, wondering, or at least looking for an explanation as to why the whistle's in the call.
They called the player down after he bobbled the ball. His knee hit the turf.
There we go.
Yeah, that'll end the Warriors' chance to return.
So with that, Pieper 1st and 10 at its own 28. Caden Keith, shotgun. Hopper the handoff. Brady comes left. Sidesteps, another one to get to the sideline, cross midfield, pushed out of bounds near the 40 of Seguin.
John Como comes up with a big seal on that left side that really just opens up a big lane for Hopper to get into plus territory. And again, the tempo being shown here by the Warriors.
Right back to the line. They waste no time. They play with incredible pace, and they're effective at it. Not to mention efficient as well. Keith. Hopper. This time Seguin ready for it. Nowhere to go. Julian Rivera getting behind the line of scrimmage for the stop for Seguin.
And the Matadors are looking for those kind of negative plays, but positive for the defense. And a tackle for loss, making this a 2nd and about 15, obviously exactly what the doctor ordered for Seguin.
Handoff, this time it's Hamilton. John gets to right around the 45. Hamilton, the leading rusher for these Warriors. 292 yards coming in on 50 carries to start the night. So he's over 300 for the season. Keith keeps over the middle. Had a lot of success going to Evan Drake in the first half. Aren't able to connect there. Brings up 4th and 13.
And I'm a little surprised that the punting unit isn't out here, but that was a catch away from Drake from being a first down, or at least making this a 4th and 1. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar play drawn up here.
Well, we talked in the first half about just simply stacking good plays on top of each other. Seguin with a chance to stack yet another one. Big 4th and 13. Keith over the middle. Complete. Short of the sticks. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Ethan Palmer made the catch, but that Seguin defense there to bring him down before the marker.
We're still pretty good ways away from calling that a big momentum play, but it is a momentum play for Seguin. And obviously, one of the things that we were talking about during the break was how that offense ate up a lot of clock on that drive. So Seguin, if they really want anything to kind of come up in this game to make it close in the 4th quarter, they're going to have to work just a little bit quicker. Successful drive to score in the 1st of the 3rd, but they got to work a little faster.
I'm on the same wavelength, Carl. Before that 4th and 13, I was trying to find a way to best describe, look, this isn't going to change the trajectory of the game by any means. But as some trickeration from Seguin Daly. And all of a sudden, Seguin with the big plays. Consistently, again, it's Lane Seisberger who just caught the touchdown pass.
I would like to watch that again purely for the legality of it, because it seemed like it was a lateral pass and then a flea flicker. But either way, trick play drawn up and it works.
All the way down to the Pieper 25, and now Seguin knocking on the door of a 3rd straight score. Daly with Ian Moreno to his right. Over the middle goes Daly, incomplete. He's looking for Seisberger again.
And that just shows you the pace of the game.
I was just going to say, Carl, to finish that thought I was making before that big play. Look, we're not at a moment yet where any one play is going to change the trajectory of the game. It's still a 37-point game. Let's be real. But 37-point comebacks, if they are to happen, with the rarity that they do happen, when they do occur, it's 7 points here, another 7 points there, another 7 points. Before you know it, a once 30-plus point lead is now 14. This is the way it happens. It's kind of the snowball effect. Doesn't always happen in a hurry. But Seguin now on the verge of a 3rd straight touchdown. Elliott Weaver, plenty busy in the first half, his first touch in the third quarter.
And that's what they got to keep doing. I would say get it outside and hope that you can run out of bounds to conserve as much clock as possible, pick up that first down if not. And you just keep seeing these plays that are stacking up here for the Matadors, if nothing else, to take momentum into next week.
3rd and 5 at the 20. Trips and they're bunched to the right side of Corey Daly. He takes off that way. Cuts it up after patiently waiting for his blocks, and it pays off. Another first down for the Matadors.
And just like I said at the start of this drive, they can't afford to have long drives if they really want to make a comeback, and they've done a great job of conserving as much clock as possible right there as Daly got out of bounds, as well as picked up the first down on that play.
Ball at the 11, so they can get another first down. Daly patiently waiting. All time, lets it go, end zone. He was looking, crossing route. Unable to find Jacob Burns or connect with Jacob Burns is a better way to put it. Burns, a 5'11 senior who goes 175, just over his outstretched hands.
Daly's getting a mixed bag in terms of protection. Sometimes it looks like he has all day to throw. Sometimes he's immediately under pressure. But when he does get that kind of protection, he needs to execute and find his receivers.
2nd and 10 from the 11. Trips now to his left side for Daly. Looking over the middle. Now going left. Spins to get out of trouble, if only for the moment, and now he's got a lane. Inside the 5.
Well, that was a little Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M style of flair where he got away from what looked like a sure tackle and turned it into a positive play. And again, this is 4-down territory. Matadors, 3 points at this point in the game does no good for them. So they have 2 plays to pick up the first down at the 1, try and punch it in the end zone.
For as often as we've seen Daly trying to buy time well beyond the line of scrimmage, very few times has that Pieper defense been able to get him back there. Nice job of refusing to pin himself, and he gets out of trouble again here. Buying himself some time. This time he just lets it go. Throws it up, and it's caught! Fantastic effort by Lane Seidenberger. Jump ball, and Lane comes down with it. But the officials conferring.
I think he was held. I think this is a pass interference on the defense.
But he did come down with it, correct?
He did, oh yeah.
So, okay, so then there's a penalty flag somewhere down there then.
If I had to guess, I was watching that from the corner, that there was a little bit of a hold, and it should be a PI on the defense.
Here we go. So just in case you weren't able to catch that, we think you were, but just in case, Lane Seidenberger stepped out of bounds, but because the defender touched the ball first on that jump ball, that's a good touchdown. It's not illegal for him to touch the ball since a Pieper defender touched it first.
Making that play all the more insane. It was a great blitz lined up there by Michael Briggs, but in traditional Matador fashion, an Olay from Daly gave him a little bit more time to find that pylon pass, and the defense touching it ends up being thing.
Seguin again goes for 2. They're 0 for 2, make it 0 for 3 on 2-point attempts. 49-18, the Matadors on an 18-0 run. We're back after this from Seguin. You're watching the Warriors Network. Matador Stadium, well, can you score 18 straight points and not quite have true momentum? Is that possible?
Yes, and this is the case, but the Matadors continuously improve. That was only a minute, about 20 seconds taken off the clock on that last scoring drive.
Matadors with the pooch kick following yet another touchdown, their third straight of the ball game when you go back to the late in the first half. Return across midfield. Raja Lopez, defensive back for the Pipers, with the honors on that kick return. So fantastic field position for the Warriors to start. That was the case for most of that second quarter. They're going to start at the Seguin 46.
And here we are in their second drive of the second half. You do sense some of the momentum slipping away, but that's the beauty of building a 49-0 lead, is you can afford to have the other team counter with some counter punches.
And if you're head coach Nick Rogers, you love the coachable moments, right? Especially when your team's playing as well as it has. Tip drill. Grindstaff able to come down with it. Andrew, a junior receiver, able to catch it off the bounce. Now all of that, it's a gain of 1. Maybe not even officially a gain of 1. The down markers just past the line of scrimmage. And they do mark it as second down and 9. Three receivers to the near side. Hamilton to carry. He's going right. Run out of bounds at near the 40. Penalty marker. Now another one.
A great stretch, and if I had to guess, that might have been hit after he ran out of bounds. So late hit is my guess here against the Matadors.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 8, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Your principle is right on, Carl. It's a personal foul. Same difference, and so with that, Pieper all the way now to the Seguin 25.
Yeah, I can't be expected to see a face mask. Those happen so quick.
Yeah. Same difference, though. It's essentially the same rule was broken on the Seguin end. Hamilton, right side, 3 yards potentially.
And that's a big play because obviously you're starting to set up the Warriors into field goal position roughly. We already saw about a 37-yarder kick through earlier today.
Second down and 7. Hamilton, motion. Carry out of the backfield, dancing his way to the 20. 3 more, brings up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we saw that counter with the motion a little bit earlier in the game, and it's been positive both times. If I were the Warriors, I'd maybe burn a little bit more of the play clock. Doesn't seem like it's in their culture, though.
Not in their DNA. On 3rd and 5, Keith rolls right. He keeps across the 10. Keith has a clear path to the end zone. I don't know if he was touched.
That's their culture, finding the end zone. Doesn't matter how much time's on the play clock. They snap that one with about 30 seconds left, but you fake the jet sweep action, and then you just have a wide open right side of the field for Keith to take it into the end zone.
It's only a matter of time with this offense, it feels like, Carl. They might have a possession here where they don't score, a possession there where they run out of time because of the intermission's approaching, but they never really go into lulls. Quick to respond. Extra point is good. We're back after this. 55-18, the Warriors in control right here on the Warriors Network. Warriors Network, all Pieper tonight, about to kick off with a 56-18 lead in Seguin on a Matador squad that came in looking for a fourth straight win. Kickoff fielded right around the 25, not much beyond that on the return. And so that's where the Matadors will begin their next offensive series. 1:35 showing on the third quarter clock. In a game they trail 56-18.
And that last touchdown pretty much stunted that momentum we were talking about. Matadors with 18 unanswered, but now you see that the Warriors seem to have gotten their swagger back. They certainly took advantage of a face mask penalty on their offensive drive, and now if their defense can get a stop here in the third quarter, probably the fourth quarter, by the way this looks like it's going to go, then they could feel real good heading into the final frame.
Yeah, it's interesting. It just felt like those 18 straight by Seguin were among the most pedestrian 18-point streaks you'll see in a bit. And sure enough, the Warriors seizing momentum, putting it right back in their column with that last touchdown to put them back up by 38 points. Hand to Ian Moreno on 1st and 10 and got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and they don't want to spend too much time in the huddle as they don't want to burn too much game clock if they really want to get back in it.
Game clock now under a minute to go. Daly, pressure coming from the end, sidesteps it. Able to find Ian Moreno. Moreno across the 30, still on his feet, spinning his way toward about the 35. Out of bounds, and a nice pickup considering where the play could have ended up.
Daly's so interesting to me. He's very elusive. He's very quick in the backfield, gets away from a lot of pressure, but he doesn't seem to have the tuck it and run gene yet. So it's interesting to see if he'll do that and really begin an explosive play.
Always thinking pass first, even when he's trying to buy time. It is all about running is the last resort. Moreno. Nothing.
And a lot of offenses, especially at the college level, probably like that mentality. I don't know how much you can replicate that because you're talking about Division I athletes, but I do think that that could be the next step to his game, learning how to tuck it and run, get out of bounds after picking up 5 or 6 yards.
Well, Seguin on 4th and 3 does not have to snap this. The game clock is at, well, they snap it. Daly, first down, Weaver. Elliott with the big catch, and that, once the clock restarts with the moving of the chains, will be the last play of the third quarter. Zeros on their scoreboard. We go to the fourth. Seguin marching. They trailed Pieper 56-18 right here on the Warriors Network.
Hey Pieper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
Fourth quarter right here on the Warriors Network. Pieper, a comfortable 56-18 lead on Seguin. The Matadors are marching. Carl Schoening alongside is the Warriors well on their way to a 6-0 record. and their latest impressive win in a season that's not only seeing them rack up the wins, but beat good teams as they're doing it. Incomplete. Looking for Aiden Avila. Quick screen, but unable to convert.
Yeah, I'll have to see exactly where Max Preps has them ranked, but obviously Pieper should be considered among the best in 5A, especially after this performance.
Take you through their schedule and what they've accomplished momentarily. Daly, this time Avila with the catch across the 40. Run out of bounds inside the 30. Brody Spencer coming from across the other side to make that stop. But not until Avila got to the Pieper 28. First down.
Matadors certainly getting those big plays that they probably wish they had in the first half.
Had a string where they scored 3 straight touchdowns, unanswered. Moreno, couple of moves to get across the 20. They needed the 18 for a first down on 1st and 10, got to the 19, so 2nd and 1.
I'm loving his effort. He got injured at the end of the first half. He came back in here in the second half, and he's been an integral part of the 18 points that they've put on the board.
He's standing to Daly's right. Gets the ball again. Goes right, starts off that way, spinning back toward the middle of the field. And along the left hash marks, inside the 10.
And one of the questions I had was whether or not there would be maybe some running up the clock happening in the scoreboard room. No, they've done a great job of being on top of this clock here at the start of the 4th quarter. They're not moving the chains quite yet, though.
I think they're finally moving. You're right. Lagging behind.
They might have just fallen asleep.
1st and goal. They're at the 9. Officials now ready with the down marker and all judges in place. Side judge and the line judge set. Daly throw, quick one. Weaver, touchdown, Seguin. Make that Nick Henry.
What a spin move he used to get away from the pressure, and then he just turns on the Jets after he breaks one ankle tackle to create that final 5 yards of distance for the pylon. I've been impressed with him. The Miners are getting a good one.
Headed to UTEP, Nick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Young man who came in with 6 touchdowns on the season. Extra point is good. 22 catches, 363. He's over 100. Over 400 for the season with his effort tonight. We're back after this on the Warriors Network. Seguin, another score. 4th quarter action continues.
Who's going to decide if this generation carries on our way of life? All of us. Hui, Western Original.
(56-25) our score here on the Warriors Network. Pieper on top of Seguin. Here's the thing. For as big a gap as there is in the score, and I mean it's a 31-point gap, this game was 49-0 at one point, Carl.
Yeah, I'm giving Seguin a lot of credit for not quitting. It really is easy sometimes to give up after being down 49-0.
Aggressive onside kick. And it almost worked. Took a couple bounces. Pieper not able to handle it, but it goes out of bounds, and so they retain or will not lose possession on a kickoff. They were back to receive.
That was extremely dangerous. Nick Henry knew exactly where that ball was going to be going, and he was moments away from reading that bounce right and taking it uncontested down the sideline, because the Warriors are ready for an onside kick, and luckily for them, that one ended up out of bounds. If Henry were able to get his hands on it, he would have already put the Matadors on the scoreboard.
Instead, Pieper first and 10 at its own 38. 10:58 remaining in the ball game. Hopper the carry met right away. Point of impact matched the handoff.
I think that was sort of a tip of the hand there. Norseworthy comes in as the new quarterback for the Warriors.
There you go.
And I think that they expected that to be a run play, and once again, except this time, I think the Warriors are going to listen. They're going to use a lot of the play clock every offensive drive the rest of the way.
Carter Noseworthy, a junior. Coming out to the left side. Another reserve getting some action there for Pieper.
Oh, the ever popular, when they get on the field, unnamed JV call-up. I don't see an 82 on my roster.
Right. Neither do I.
But when they get on the field, you know things have either gone really well or really wrong.
In Pieper's case, as has usually been the case this season, they've gone really well. Noseworthy coming right, lets it go. Not able to handle is Easton Springer. And on 4th and 7, the Pieper punting unit comes on to punt.
This is the first time we've seen their punting unit. I know they've gone for it on 4th down and a turnover on downs, but I don't think we've seen the punting unit yet.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've seen him out there in this capacity. And again, it is Carter Noseworthy. Takes a bounce before Henry. Henry's going to let it roll past him. Down at the 18.
If that were playable, I feel like Henry could have made a really spectacular special teams play. And it's easier said than done. I'm certainly not going to be able to get any distance on a punt that I try and send out of bounds from up here in the booth. But I just feel like Henry's an electric player, and Matadors are looking for a big explosive play, and a special team score like he's been hunting all night is kind of what they need if they're going to somehow make this interesting.
Well, projecting ahead, if they can get 6, it's now a 56-31 game. I tell you, the extra points and failing to convert on the 2-pointers afterwards, after the failed initial extra point, I don't want to say they loom large, because it's still it would still be a 28-point game.
It looms, just not large.
But it does loom. That's a good way to put it. Pass complete, meanwhile, to Jacob Burns. Had a knee down when he caught it, so a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 to 25. Deep goes Daly. At the 25, that's going to draw a flag. Looking for Cameron Wattis Burns. And there was no doubt about that call in real time.
Well, sometimes the unnamed JV call giveth, and sometimes the JV call taketh away. Number 29, as he'll be known on the broadcast tonight, made a no-no of a push while the ball was in the air, and that's an easy call for the officials.
Because of the penalty, 1st and 10 now at the 40. Goes right. Seidenberger there. Lane trying to drag defenders. At the very least, he's staying on his feet. Gets to the 46.
Bring up second down.
To make it 2nd and 4. As the clock now goes under 8.5 to go in the ball game.
And you're okay with that. It keeps the clock ticking with that tackle in field.
Daly again with 2 receivers to both sides. Looking middle, then looking sideline, now rolling to the right. Nick Henry at the 40, first down Seguin.
Talked about that tuck and run not really being part of his game, and that's a good reason why right there. Keeping your eyes down the field, a lot of open space to pick up the first down with your feet, but more yards to be had there with the pass.
Same formation, twins to each side. Moreno to Daly's left, he gets it this time. Patiently waits, makes his way across the middle of the line.
Second down.
Gain of 5.
Spencer, stop.
2nd and 5 at the 35. Daly crossing route. Jacob Burns made his first catch of the ball game earlier in this series. Now with 2 receptions on the night. That one good for 3. 3rd and 2 at the 32 of Pieper. 6:45 and counting left in the ball game. Daly fakes. Wanted Henry. Now having to improv. Thought about throwing it back to Henry almost in a lateral type situation. Henry following him down across the field. And Corey thinking better of giving it to him, although it might not have been an idea to just see what he could do with the ball.
That would have been interesting. I saw exactly what you saw, and I thought that was going to be the play. It seemed almost designed. But, yeah, it ended up being the right call there. Burns was open down the sideline, but Daly, I think, was just playing to live for 4th down instead of throwing a pick. But it's not a big 4th down, but obviously I've been impressed with the Matadors' no-quit attitude here in the second half, and 4th and 2 to continue that kind of play.
And absolutely no reason to do anything else but go for it here at the Pieper 32. Down by 31. Daly keeps. First down to the 25.
Design quarterback run the entire way there, and I'd like to see more of that from him as we move on throughout the rest of district play. Daly probably doesn't as he comes up limping a little bit, and that's part of the battle there. If you're going to have a quarterback who can move, then you obviously know that he's going to take a few hits during the game, and he's been very elusive up to that point where he was going to be tackled if he didn't get out of bounds.
Favoring the right side of his back, maybe slash hip area, as he now makes his way to the sideline.
And really, I don't think there's a reason for him to come in the rest of the ball game. He might want to, but the risk reward, as we talked about earlier, of having your starters hurt in such a lopsided game, let the backups get experience.
Said earlier in the ball game that Lane Seitenberger, who's scored 2 touchdowns at the receiver position, is the backup quarterback, so he's taking snaps now. Although that one a direct snap to Ian Moreno. And on first down, Moreno goes around right side for a couple.
Seems to be a conservative type of play. If your best passer is not going to be in the game, just get it right to your best runner. I'll be curious to see how the Matadors handle the rest of this drive.
Well, interesting thing, I got my eye on Corey Daly on the sideline. He's right there at the front of the sideline.
Oh, he wants back in.
Almost, exactly. Exactly. Give around right side. 3, maybe 4. They'll mark it at the 19, so a gain of 3. Late flag. Some extracurriculars occurring down there.
Yeah, it's been a long game. I'm sure words are being said that we can't say on the broadcast, but obviously there's going to be some extra tussle here as they're playing some smash mouth football towards the end of this game. Just some offsetting penalties that will bring up, oh, I beg your pardon, I thought I saw an offsetting signal, but first down for the Matadors. They'll take anything they can get at this point.
And I alluded to this earlier about, when I did so, I was talking about the 18 straight points put on by Pieper. Nick Rogers is going to have plenty to talk to his team about, even in a 31-point victory. Moreno coming around inside the 10. That left side been pretty good to him.
I'm pretty sure you're right, though. This is going to be a head coach's dream film session with his team. Hey, we went up 49-0. I'm going to be able to nitpick and say this can be improved on here and there. But overall, these are the type of games tomorrow on Saturday that when they watch back, maybe they'll even be listening to us, that they'll be saying, hey, we played like the second best team ranked in the San Antonio area, and we showed why tonight. According to Max Preps, I had to look that up. They're second best ranked in Texas high school football in San Antonio.
2nd and 7 at the 8. Pass to Nick Henry, trying to get out of trouble. He can't. Nice job by Vince Welch to make that tackle right at the point of reception. So 3rd and 10.
And good for Daly to get back out there. I could tell that he was in some kind of pain. He's still limping a little bit right now, as it looks like the Matadors are going to use one of their timeouts. But he just wants to at least pad his stats and get their Matadors a little bit more respectable on the final scoreboard.
Out of curiosity, I'm assuming is it Steele that Max Preps has ranked number 1 in Greater San Antonio?
Let me see here, because I was just looking at Pieper's page. They are 61st in Texas, 9th in 5A, and in Division I, they're 24th. In San Antonio, they're 2nd. Let's see if I can break that down by area.
Sorry, Cole. I didn't mean to make you do some extra work here.
It seems like a good guess. Let's see.
I'm thinking Steele, although Steele recently had the loss, but it came to a non-Greater San Antonio team, so I'm wondering if because of that they are number 1.
Yeah, Steele has that record of 5-1, but number 1 in Max Prep's rankings, with their strength of schedule being rated 8 points higher than Pieper. But Pieper right there at 2nd place in the area, ahead of Alamo Heights. And, just well-deserved. Pieper has been very impressive the couple times I've seen them this season.
Which game did you do of theirs earlier in the year?
The very first one.
The Bernie game?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I had to think back. I've done a lot of games since then.
And it's been a couple of weeks since then as well. Daly rolling to his left, gets out of trouble. It's just been his MO tonight. Going to the end zone. Nick Henry, beautiful job. He got 2 feet in. That would have been good in the NFL.
I love the no-quit attitude by the Matadors. Daly, obviously dealing with a little bit of a limp, still shows that he can turn on the adrenaline rush and roll out to the left. And he's on the same page with Henry a lot. So that's going to be perhaps the best combination when everything's said and done in District 13-5A.
56-31 our score now, the extra point to come. Edward Amarino. Extra point, no. So it remains 56-31. We're going to step aside. We're back for what we think might be the conclusion of a ball game that Pieper's dominated. Warriors Network, they lead 56-31. 3:58 remaining in the ball game. Pieper a comfortable 56-31 lead, even with Nick Henry's third touchdown of the night, to make this a 25-point ball game. The kickoff heading there toward the sideline and out of bounds. The Warriors, you assume they're not going to make Seguin kick it over. Should get it at the 30.
Yeah, seems like a fair enough bet, as I think both teams are content with this score right now. The Matadors will continue to play hard, but they're well aware that it would take a few miracles for them to win this game.
After that win against Bernie in a game that Carl called, Pieper then beat Johnson. Notable because the Jags consistently one of the best 6A squads in Greater San Antonio. They then beat up on Davenport. Now the Wolves were without quarterback Daniel Sokup and running back Barrett Fallon for the better part of that ball game, as the give here goes nowhere. Seguin saying it has the ball, officials disagreeing, and so it'll be second down. Looks to be 9 for the Warriors. But after beating up on Davenport in the third game, the Warriors then fell down 14-0 and 21-7 against Wagner, erased both deficits, came back and beat the Thunderbirds by 2 scores. And then most recently, 2 weeks ago, they beat Smithson Valley in a thrilling game at the Warrior Coliseum, leading to tonight and a ball game against the Seguin program that was looking for a 4th straight win. And so a 6-0 record is what awaits the Pieper Warriors.
Yeah, seems all official, but the final number on the scoreboard, as the Warriors have been kind of conservative, burning a lot of play clock here, working in a lot of the players who might not even be on the roster, as we've alluded to a couple times already, but overall just a dominant performance by Pieper.
Carter Noseworthy, backup quarterback, getting reps these last 2 drives. 3rd and 8, the pitch. Across the 35. Samuel Campos, senior running back, the carry, and brings up 4th and what looks to be 3. The Pieper unit, punting unit that is, coming onto the field.
And you know, last time the punting unit came out, I said don't kick it to Nick Henry, but you know, we've been here long enough. Let's just have one more fun play and kick it to Nick Henry.
And we'll see what Nick Henry does. And so as this game reaches a conclusion, we'll unveil our American Interiors offensive and defensive players of the game right here on the Warriors Network. I think safe to say offensively, Carl, pretty safe bet when you take into account that 7 different, well, through their first 49 points, 7 different Pieper Warriors scored touchdowns, but there was a young man who had a hand in several of those touchdowns. Defensively, it's been a really a nice group effort, especially in the first half for the Warriors. But they have had a couple of standout defensive performances as well.
That's a little harder to determine who's going to be our defensive player, as, you know, I feel like a lot of good plays have been drawn up that the team has executed really well, and just a lot of defensive pressure on the pass game too.
Noseworthy back to punt. He's standing at his own 24. Lets it fly with under 1:50 remaining in the ball game. Down at the 40.
You know, I'll defer to statistics here and say Jackson Hopper's INT probably deserved him. That was a pretty, the game was still not decided at that point, let's put it that way. And he's played solid at that kind of defensive back position that they have him, where he'll occasionally blitz. He's made some good tackles. I'd probably give it to Jackson. But a tough decision nonetheless.
No, I would agree, Carl. I think that's a good call. I think if we're being honest, there wasn't much of this game in which we got to a point quickly in this game where it was just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, quickly.
And so try to decipher when it was in the moments of the if, as Daly's still out there slinging it around. That one complete on our side, Aiden Avila across midfield.
And I'm pretty sure Daly's elusiveness has really kept a lot of tackle for loss stats to be recorded too. That's a big part of the game.
At the 48 of Pieper, Daly shotgun. Signaling as he now takes off, he's going to take it out of bounds. But to wrap up discussion we started a couple plays ago, I agree, Carlos. When you look back at when the game was still in doubt, that interception by Hopper, that was a trajectory-changing play. That was a momentum shifter, and it really propelled Pieper to get to a point where the game was no longer in doubt. It was just a matter of the time coming off the clock. Daly rolling to his right, complete, across the 35, near the 25, and across that. Jacob Burns, another reception. He's been busy in the second half.
I don't think point differential will really be that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but the Matadors certainly want to keep their head held high no matter what the final score ends up being. They'd like it to be a closer game. And it's obviously going to be much closer than that 49-0 it once was.
Let's say they add 7 more here. When you look 56-38 tomorrow online, you're going to think shootout.
Yep.
You're going to think it was a shootout, and maybe Pieper pulled away late. Complete at the 10. Henry making his way to the 5 before he's knocked out of bounds.
Nick Henry on the completion inside the 5-yard line. And that's a Matador.
I'm going to come away talking this game mostly about Nick Henry. As great as the Warriors' performance has been, and Daly's been inspirational there playing through an injury late and trying to lead a comeback. Nick Henry, I think the problem is you just can't give him the ball every single possession. He's been electric out there.
He's taking this play off, appears to be working something out on his lower body. So not on the field for first and goal at the 5. Daly looking left, goes that way. Ian Moreno met right as he caught the ball. Big play for Brady Ginley, junior defensive back.
Yeah, that defense, especially all the players that maybe don't get as much playing time as they want to, are trying to earn it right now.
Under 20 seconds remaining. It's second and goal at the 2. Daly going right. Touchdown, Seguin. Nick Henry, give him another one.
Yeah, he just needed that one play off, and then they immediately go right back to arguably their best playmaker. And Daly to Henry, something you're going to hear a lot on Seguin broadcasts, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go down as the duo that has the most yards between them by the end of the season, especially the way Pieper distributes the ball to pretty much everybody on their lineup.
Two-point conversion, no good. 56-37 with 11 ticks remaining in the ball game. Let's take one final break. When we come back, what should be the conclusion of tonight's broadcast right here on the Warriors Network.
Hey Pieper Nation, I'm Dr. Daniel San Martin, your neighborhood board-certified orthodontist. My family and I live here in Kinder Ranch, and I have been proudly building Confident Smiles since 2012. We're excited to say that our new office is now located on Borgfeld Road. At San Martin Orthodontics, I personally see every patient at every appointment, and I'm the only doctor you'll see throughout your entire treatment. If your family needs orthodontic care, we'd love to earn your trust with a complimentary consultation. We hope to see you soon, and go Warriors!
The Seguin Matadors set to kick off in a game they trail 56-37 with just 11 seconds to go. Pieper, that far from moving to 6-0 and 3-0 in district play. Deep kick, Isaiah Champagne to run it out of the end zone, no touchback. And so with 8 seconds to go, that Pieper offense coming on the field one more time.
I'm laughing because of the body language there from Champagne. He kind of muffed the catch, calling for a fair catch. Okay, and as just explained by the official there, when you touch it in the end zone like that, it's a touchback. And Champagne wasn't happy, but, you know, that's just fine. They could just take the victory formation, everybody's favorite formation, and we can go home.
Say that our American Interiors offensive and defensive players of the game. Carl mentioned his name earlier. Defensively, Jackson Hopper, the big pick, and right in the thick of a fantastic defensive effort for Pieper, especially in the first half. And then, frankly, when this game in the second half was not as close, is when Seguin made most of its moves. Our offensive player of the game, again brought to you by American Interiors, Caden Keith, 4 touchdown passes, each to a different receiver, and a touchdown run. So Keith accounting for 5 touchdowns against a counterpart on the other end who accounted for 8 touchdowns in that win against Bernie Champion. We're talking about Corey Daly, the Seguin quarterback. So Carl, as we say goodnight, your final thoughts here on a game that sees Pieper come out on the right end of a 56-37 score.
Pieper's for real, and I think a lot of that is on the defensive side of the ball. You talk about a Seguin team that put up over 70 points last week, and you really hold them to only 6 in the first half, and then they get some no-quit against backup touchdowns at the end there. But overall, both sides of the ball, and I'll even throw in special teams, clicked on all cylinders tonight for Pieper, and I'm excited to see where this season takes them.
Yeah, he talked about Jackson Hopper and his good play coming into the ball game. 29 total tackles. He had a tackle for loss. Young man who was all over the football, got his first interception of the season tonight. And add it all up, it leads to a great performance and another Pieper Warriors victory. So for the great Carl Schoening, for the fantastic, wonderful folks at Wick Productions, we say good night right here on the Warriors Network. Pieper, a winner again, 6-0, 56-37. Good night. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Not the fun part of being a dad, but I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me.
Concerning you?
Yeah. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella, and
Arlo?
I wasn't eavesdropping. He's always watching you. His videos are secure. This guy sounds like a creep.
It's not.
Your privacy is very important to me, and I think you need to make better decisions. Boys, and this Arlo is not a boy that I think you should be dating.
You're dating someone?
Yeah, Arlo. I heard you guys talking about him.
Arlo.
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. We were talking about how great they are and how safe they make me feel. Arlo's not a boy.
Well, that's a boy's name.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?